What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. I am Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us bright and early on a Saturday morning. How you guys doing this morning? I'm slow motion. I got nothing for you today. It is a bye week. We have all went down this journey together. And when I say this journey, I'm talking about this journey of this football season Southern is having. What a season it's been, right? Up and down, all around, we're here. And here we are. It's been a tough one. We've been set back 100 years with this season. What you laughing at, Mike? It's true. But at the end of the day, it's all good. At the end of the day, this is where we at. You see how it looks on the YouTube look, Mike? Check it out and see how it looks. I'm not sure why it looks like that that way, but check it out. Fixing some things here this morning as we're getting going. Some things look a little different on our YouTube. Good morning to everybody on Talk 107.3 FM across the Baton Rouge capital city area and everybody out there listening and watching on our YouTube and Facebook Live. Glad to have you guys with us this morning. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Like I told you, I got nothing this morning. It's been a season of us just going along. Here we are. Looks good on the Facebook. Oh, okay. We're gonna end one. So if you're watching on the YouTube, it's two different live streams going at the same time. Brandon Mitchell says, good morning from LaPlace. Good morning, Brandon. Glad to have you. He's watching on our Facebook Live. Let's see. So we got to start the live over, or it's good? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Hey, this live, people. So it's just live. We're figuring it out. We're working it out. And he's right. Yep, we got it together. Hey, look, I'm telling y'all, boy, if y'all ever see just Mike behind the scenes being able to make it work, he makes it work. Let's see who all we got on our live this morning. My man, Kevin Walker and the Walker brothers, good morning. Teldrin, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Mark Smith, good morning. Your boy Jay, good morning. Ronald Hunt, my man Chuck up from Monroe, Louisiana. Good morning, man. Good morning to everybody. I'm gonna get a chance to get through everybody here in a minute. We got Newport News, Virginia checking in. Everybody in here this morning. My man David Williams. Appreciate you, David. Good morning, sir. I've become a big fan of your work. Hey, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody who's up listening on radio this morning and watching on here. I say I don't have nothing for you, but trust me. Today's show is y'all's show. I'm other people today. Of course, you know, all the stories and the news have been coming out about the head coaching search with Southern University. You heard the name like Marshall Faulk be spewed out over everywhere it can be over the past week. Now, you guys have had opportunities to listen to me, and throughout this season, I've given my opinion on how I feel I would love to see the program. And I'm just one guy. You know, it doesn't have to be Perry's way at all. And I'm cool with that. But I do speak in a way that, hey, for most people, when I go places, they say, man, you say what we're thinking. We in tune, we hear, for me and a lot of the people that's out there. But I do understand there are going to be some people who don't quite see it that way, right? Different mindsets, as they used to say, different strokes for different folks. I totally understand that. I'm cool with that. But I'm also curious about you guys because I've been looking on social media. I've been seeing, you know, the yays or the nays when it comes to the Marshall Faulk, but then I'm also seeing, you know, people's thoughts on other candidates that they believe should be up for this job. And I'll leave the door open for you guys, 225-499-1073. 225-499-1073 for the rest of the show. I got a guest at 7:30 and 8:30, but for the rest of the show, it's on you guys. You can speak now or forever hold your peace. Which I know a lot of people just, you know, publicly, they don't want to say anything public because they don't want people to know that, you know, and I get it. I don't have a problem with it, clearly, you know. I am who I am. I'm going to say what I'm going to say while trying to do it respectfully, along with some form of a professional line. But at the same time, what you see is what you get with Perry. I'm just going to be a realist about it. I'm going to be honest about it. I'm going to speak my mind about it, and you're just going to get it however it come out. I'm just different when it comes to that. But I do respect if there are people out there that do not want to publicly say it. And then if you're in the chat, you know, on our YouTube and Facebook, conversate with me. I'm going to interact with you guys today. Other than that, I'm just trying to figure out what it is that you guys want. What is it that y'all want? What do you want what do you want your program to be? What do you want your football team to be? Mike, before we go there, let's do we need to take a break? We keep going? All right. We'll have somebody on the phone. Who we got? Chuck, good morning, Chuck.
Good morning and an early happy Thanksgiving to you. And it's great to be able to talk to you. Like I tell you, you probably had seen in the comments that my birthday is coming up on November 25th on Tuesday.
Happy birthday, Chuck.
Yeah, I'll be hitting the big 5-0. And yeah, it's great to be here just to converse with you. But yeah, I've been seeing all these the rumors out here about who they've been talking, whose name we've been hearing. Possibly being your next head coach. But you know what happened? I'm the kind of person, Brother White and Mike. I just want to know. I want to believe it to I want to see it to believe it. It's kind of like when Deion Sanders became Jackson State's head coach, and think about when Michael Vick became Norfolk State's head coach, Deshaun Jackson at Delaware State, many others. You want to see it to believe it because yeah, and this people are saying, oh yeah, you have Pro Football Hall of Fame. I said, well. They're not the first. It's not the first Pro Football Hall of Famers. Think back to the '80s. He wasn't a celebrity, but Larry Little led Bethune-Cookman back in the '80s. He coached. He's on the undefeated 1972 Miami Dolphins Super Bowl championship team. And yeah, it's about what people want. And there's one guy that we know quite well who's going to say, "Oh, I'm against the celebrity hires and all that." But hey, the times these are different times, sir. You're not going to have what you remember in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The landscape has changed. I'm going to land on that one.
Thank you, Chuck.
All right. You all have a happy Thanksgiving.
All right, you too. I mean, we've seen the names before. My days at UAPB, Coach Moore Forte came over from Norfolk State. And after Coach Forte left, Monty Coleman, who we all know from the Washington Redskins days, he took over the program. We saw Doug Williams up at Grambling. He took over the program. Who we got? Damien, good morning.
Morning, boss. That was quick. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm coming straight to you. What you got for me?
Well, regarding the coaching search, man, I hope the board just wakes up and smells the coffee and just understand that we can't have red threads for one, and we can't have people who kiss butt. I mean, I don't. I know that the Marshall Falk interview has gone on social media. I don't mind him, but I do worry about the lack of coaching search. Experience with him per se. Me personally, I would like a person like Joel Taylor. I think he can do something with the program. He's younger than me, as a matter of fact, and I think he's hungry. Why not give a person like him a shot?
I'm with you. That's
just
all
your thoughts. I mean,
huh?
I mean, just your thoughts. I mean, again, I thought Terrence Graves, nice man, but just not a guy who I see leading a team like SU.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunately that's where the cookie crumbles.
For me, and I tell you so what, for me, look, I can't compare us to nobody else, but what I can tell you, those of us who are Jaguars, true blue and gold, gold and blue, however you want to put it, we understand how much we love our program, how much we support this program, and we've seen the support drop off. I've seen us the past couple times go to Jackson, and we do not travel how we used to. Not just Jackson, most places that we go. Fans are tuning out. The excitement, that hype, that swagger. Now, we haven't lost our swagger 100%, but we've lost some of it. We're not that same Southern right now that loves to brag about who we are, because everybody's beating us while we down. We are at a low. And trust me, the rest of the SWAC loves what's happening to Southern right now.
I know.
Southern has to get back to that point. And for me, I'm looking at, if we got the money and if we've seen where this program is headed, what is LSU doing right now? They're courting every head football coach that has made an immediate impact at the school that they are at, trying to get them to come to LSU, which Lane Kiffin right now seems to be on the clock. And they willing to do what it takes to pull him away from Ole Miss to say, look, you've done great things, but Ole Miss ain't LSU, but you've been able to find success there. You come here, hey, let's roll it out for you. Now, I think we maybe tried to do that with Eric Dooley, but Eric Dooley did not have that pedigree where it was SWAC good, but where was he in terms of the landscape of FCS? And that's what I'm looking at. Can we go out and pull a coach from a program that has made an immediate impact, not only within his conference, but on the national stage of talking FCS football in which we compete?
I agree.
And say, look, hey, brother, we got a hell of a fan base. We got one of the biggest stadiums in FCS. We play on televisions, whether it's streamed on SWAC TV, HBCU Go TV, ESPN, and we play in venues across the country, including right there in New Orleans on NBC in the Bayou Classic.
Yep.
Then ABC for the Celebration Bowl, ESPN for the SWAC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a coach that wants to be up and coming and you saying, well, dang, I may be undefeated, and I'm just throwing it out there at Tennessee Tech, but who's watching me? Who's watching?
Good
right?
question.
I've put together a program, but ain't nobody watching me. Well, come to Southern and see, that's how I try to sell it to where it ain't about us being an HBCU. It's about us being a premier program that gets a lot of attention nationally.
No corners in this one, baby.
And so I'm looking at what we can't sell that.
Exactly.
We can't sell
right,
that.
Sir. 100% on the money.
Thank you for the call, Damon.
All right, boss.
We need to take a break, Mike. All right, let's take a break, everybody. Hey, once again, it's open for you guys, 225-499-1073. If you want to call, look, I'm open to hear anything this morning. I promise you. I don't have an issue. I would love to hear if you're for the likes of a Marshall Faulk. I would like to hear what do you want to see the program? I hear myself all the time, but I want to hear from you guys today because we are at that point where Southern is most likely going to name a coach within the next week or so. Now, do we have a say so? I don't know, but I love for us to say something because I think in history of Southern, I don't know how loud we have been in terms of a fan base publicly, not behind closed doors, not at the barbershop, not at the tailgate, not on the phone, but publicly to be able to speak what we stand and what we want as a program, as lovers and supporters of Southern. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back. More of the Jaguar Journal. It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500-plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy. No pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket. And his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver, Hayes, makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing, nice catch made.
Receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down and 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still line. Touchdown. So they move back 5 yards. Levy on third down. Looking down the sideline. Yes, sir. Big time play.
Guys stepping up like they're going to blitz. He really is going to start thinking.
Levy pump and go. Levy finds his receiver, Devin Lewis. Good experience, a receiver experience for Hines.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
Best, and they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
Really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast, and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's the type of young man.
All right, everybody, we're back. Good morning to you. It is the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Good morning to everybody listening on Talk 107.3 FM across the Baton Rouge capital city area, and everybody watching, listen on our YouTube and Facebook across the country. Be sure to keep up with the Jaguar Journal. We're on everything, Mike. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on X. We on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok. Mike runs the TikTok. He know how to TikTok and do all the TikTok stuff. I've yet to figure it out, but we're going to continue to figure it out as we continue to grow, and we want you guys to grow with us. And as we're talking about growing, let's talk about the Southern University volleyball program, who is growing up right in front of our very eyes. Last night, they got a victory in the SWAC volleyball tournament over in Tallahassee, upsetting the number 2 seed Jackson State Southern's volleyball team. Women's volleyball comes in as the number 7 seed, and they survive in advance. And that's all you can ask a team to do. And nobody better to talk about the volleyball team than the head coach herself, Coach Dawn Barnes. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
You got me up early.
Wake on up, Coach. Hey, look.
I've been up since 5. I've been up since 5 a.m., actually.
You should be stoked, full of energy after that win last night. I saw the video on the Southwestern Athletic Conference page when you guys ran back there and posted and put the Southern for the survive to the next round and doing the SU chant and dancing and jumping. I was feeling that energy. I got hyped up as I was watching that, and that's what happens when you go into a tournament and you get a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially, I mean, we're the underdog. We're a number 7 seed. And again, we weren't obviously picked to win or advance. And I'm telling you, God just works in mysterious ways. And my girls are just playing out of their minds right now. They're just playing with so much resilience. I'm just so proud of them.
You know what the icing on the cake was, Coach?
What's that?
It was Jackson State. We was able to get.
Listen,
it was Jackson
last
State.
year they beat us. Yeah, the last year they beat us in 4. When we went to their place this year, they beat us in 4. And literally the last 2 days since we've been here, we've just watched film at night, in the morning. We had a whole plan, what we wanted to do, how we wanted to shut down the player. Actually, they have the player of the year, number 2, Jordan Felix, shut her down, and it was just amazing.
Let's talk about the season, the regular season, and you guys had some downs, but you also had some ups, a lot of ups, and that environment in Seymour Gym can really turn into a place of excitement, and it gets rocking up in there sometime. But for you, let's talk about the season and how the regular season turned out for you.
Well, the preseason, we start with preseason, obviously, and the preseason is to get the team ready for the conference, because conference is where it matters the most. And we were playing some teams, the Tulanes, the Nichols, that, were just, LA Tech, those teams like that were, competitive for us. But we finally were able to, pull out the W versus Nichols. And then that's when I felt like the girls just started believing a little bit more, like, okay, we can do this. It took us, 3 weeks, but we got it together, and we just started playing, just believing in themselves. They were being more efficient and just, trusted. They started trusting in their training, and that was the biggest thing for us. Trusting in the training that they were receiving, and it takes a village, and it was all my coaching staff and all of them just buying into what we needed to do to get to the next level, and we're at the next level right now.
Let's start by returning players from last year that came back into this program and new players a part of this program that have made impacts for you guys.
Super excited that, Bailey St. Romain, she's one of my grad students. Elise Dooms, Bailey's outside, right side. Elise Dooms is outside. Those were the 2 grad students that said, Coach, we got 1 more year and we got something to prove. Let's make it happen. I said, okay, let's make it happen. So them 2 coming back, and then obviously with Jordan Felix as a setter, Ayanna Taylor, Leslie Warren, and Zion, they all came back their senior years, which was great. And then, gosh, I have 20 players. I had 6 freshmen come in.
Wow.
Actually, 8 freshmen come in, and 3 of the freshmen are, rotating in and out of the starting lineup. Sophie Doof is the middle blocker. I've got Serenity Johnson in that mix as well. Zaria Nelson in that mix as well. So it's a combination of returners, newcomers, and just, putting that puzzle together. With the puzzle, you got different pieces that you got to figure out. And that's exactly what Southern Volleyball has had to do. That's exactly what I've had to do, is figure out the pieces to the puzzle.
You're talking about putting these pieces to the puzzle. You have a coaching staff along with you that's making this thing work. Talk about your coaching staff and how instrumental they've been in helping the success of this program thus far under your tenure.
Yes. I don't even know where to begin. Coming from last year, again, a younger staff to a more experienced staff this year. My associate, Jeremiah Estes, coming from California, and he's got the international background where he's actually won some championships over there. And he came in when we talked. We've known each other for like 30 years, but he came in and was like, okay, this is a system I want to try to implement for Southern Volleyball. Let's see how it works. I was like, okay. And then I got Nathaniel Bland. He's here. He played at the college level as well. And then Alish, my middle blocker from last year, she wanted to get into coaching, and she's like, Coach, I want to get into coaching. I want to continue to be underneath you and learn and get better to become a better coach. And I'm like, okay. So you got different backgrounds between Jerry and I. There's over 25 years of Division I experience, and we're just so excited that we're able to work together side by side finally and build something.
Now,
and
walk me through this game last night against Jackson State. How did it go? Talk to me about it as you're coaching. Come on now, give me, wake us up this morning. Take us back down that and tell us, how did it happen for the upset of Southern over Jackson State?
Listen, it wouldn't. That's funny, man. Oh man! I mean, that first set, and my team, they're notorious for starting out, with a lot of energy, blah blah blah. And I kept saying in that first set, like, okay, let's just get a feel of what we need to do. And then at the second set, after the first set, I was like, ladies, you got to start believing. You got to start believing we can do this. And then that second set, it was like a light bulb just went off, and they just. I don't know. It was crazy. They would just became like possessed. Like, okay, we're going to do this. And then we won that second set 25-21. And then we are notorious all season long of getting in that adrenaline, right? You know how you get that adrenaline rush. And then all of a sudden in the next set, that adrenaline, it's like driving a car. We accelerated so much in that second set, and then we decelerated in that third set. I'm like, what are we doing? And then in that fourth set, we came back and won. And when we were down 12-6, I was like, I sat down. I normally stand up when I coach, but I sat down and I just closed my eyes and said, God, I know we can do this. I know we can do this. And honey, we did it. We did it. I was so proud of the girls. And I went in that locker room and I'm like, ladies, this is all about the training and you believing in yourselves and playing together. And we were screaming and dancing, and it was crazy. It was crazy. I'm so so happy for my seniors, I'm happy for the seniors and the fifth years because they've been there for 4 years. I'm at 5 now, and, they're finally almost reaching the goal of becoming SWAC champions. Super proud of them.
I love it. And for anybody out there want to watch last night's game, it was on SWAC TV, and I believe the rest of the games throughout the tournament up into the championship will be on SWAC TV. Let me tell you, you guys need to tune in. The SWAC volleyball tournament is over in Tallahassee, Florida. Coach, how do you get your team prepared after such a high and upset for you guys to come back down to earth and say, hey, the main thing is the main thing. We still got some more games to go. Let's focus. Let's get back on track. And let's put that behind. Let's move forward and let's keep this thing going.
Well, I mean, we got on the bus last night and we went and had dinner, and I just said, okay, our schedule is we wake up at 8. We've got our walk, our movements, our yoga. We've got breakfast. We have video. I mean, the same schedule. We're locked in. We clocked in at 8 o'clock this morning, and we're clocked in. It's a full-time job today. We're clocked in until tonight. Obviously, we'll give them some rest, let them, just have their downtime. But once we, after lunch, it's on.
What's next for you guys? Next opponent, and preparing for that next opponent?
We actually play Alabama State, which we played them on November the 14th in Seymour, and it was a close, 25-18, 25-21, but we play them today at 4:30. So I've been, like I said, since 5 o'clock already watching film, studying film, just finding out their tendencies and what we need to do to shut them down. Completely different team, very athletic team. They've got some flyers, but, got to be able to shut them down.
Well, Coach, listen. I watched that video last night, and I was already checking out the game. And then when I saw that aftermath on the SWAC's Instagram of you guys excited, I got turned up and started jumping and yelling. I'm like, yeah, the SU chant. I'm serious. It's something about the energy of a team that when the fans see it, regardless if you're there in person or not, you feed off that energy. And it was glad to see that energy last night. And most importantly, it was glad to get a win over Jackson State. If Southern folks know anytime we can get one of those, we'll take it.
You know what, the overwhelming text messages and calls last night from, the athletic administration and just some faculty and staff at Southern and just coaches from different other D1 programs that I know, it was just overwhelming. Like, it was like crazy. So I'm staying focused, and my focus right now is, like I said, getting ready for this afternoon and what we need to do. But the whole process is just staying calm and poised.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on this morning. For everybody that's listening,
Absolutely.
that's the voice of Coach Don Barnes, the head women's volleyball coach over at Southern University. Coach, thank you for coming on this morning. Congratulations on the win last night. Keep it going, Coach. Hey, let's come on with that trophy. Let's bring it all the way on home.
Let's go. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Good luck to you guys tonight.
Speaking with you. All right, thanks.
All right, everybody. The voice of Coach Don Barnes. She is the women's volleyball coach over at Southern. The number 7 seed last night, Southern University, upset the number 2 seed, Jackson State. I'm always going to make mention that if we can beat Jackson, that's a good day. Don't matter the sport. We can flip quarters. We can race down the street. We can rock, paper, scissors. We got to add those wins up when they come over the team over there in Mississippi. All right, let's get ready to take a break. Got Mike laughing back here. That's when we come back. We'll continue more of the Jaguar Journal.
Area Skelton has really had this wave of momentum for Southern.
Yeah, first-year player in this program. I love his decision-making. He makes quick decisions, particularly when running the run-pass option game. That's his specialty. He's been an impact for this offense since he took over as starting quarterback.
Jaguars on a 5-game winning streak.
Darius Skelton, and the thing about this guy, he's very familiar with this area. He's a good quarterback, but this is our homecoming for him. He played his high school ball at Pine Bluff High School, and he won an awful lot of games there.
Yeah, no question about it. Speaking of winning, from 7th grade till his senior year, the man only lost 7 games. That's impressive. He took Pine Bluff High School to 3 consecutive 6A state title games, winning the last 2 his junior and senior year. And then, if that wasn't enough, he took the basketball team to a state championship as well in his senior year. This guy is everything about winning.
And Ladarius Skelton has to make sure he blocks it out in a hurry. Don't get caught up in the elements. Stick to your keys and your game plan.
The sophomore was chosen to be the signal caller after that Alcorn State loss. And since then, he has been rolling, and Skelton is rolling with his feet. His name starts with the letter J. And Skelton on the RPO. Skelton bouncing to the outside, and he finds the end zone. So Skelton looking down that right sideline. What a pass, and into Trey Smith. Play action. Skelton going for it all. Has a man and hauling it in. And a chance for them to answer. Skelton calls his own number and boulders his way in. Skelton feeling the pressure. Skelton eludes a couple of tacklers. He's still on his feet. Oh my! Little shake and bake. Juke move, baby. Finding his way into the end zone. Touchdown. 2 to go on the play clock. Gets it off. And Skelton going for it. He's got Hunter registered in the end zone. Now on 2nd and goal, and Skelton banged around and into the end zone.
Season on the line. Run.
And Skelton calls his own number, and he's in.
Goal. Skelton looking back. Fires. Touchdown, Jaguar. Goal. Skelton's going to go to the corner. Ooh, touchdown.
That was a man in motion now from left to right. He fakes the handoff. Skelton in trouble, throws, and it is caught in the end zone for the touchdown. Here comes the pressure. Skelton steps up, and he's going to pick up the first down. He's going to pick up a touchdown. 10 from the JSU 23. Skelton will keep it. Skelton inside the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5, and he scores. In shotgun formation, gives it.
There we go. It's the Jaguar Journal. Mike got caught slipping right there. Got to be on your P's and Q's, Mike. It's the Jaguar Journal, everybody. Good morning. Perry White, Talk 107.3 FM across the Baton Rouge capital city area. Glad to have you guys with us, and everybody watching on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Good morning to you guys. 225-499-1073 is the number. 225-499-1073. Look, I'm open all the way until 8:30. We're going to talk about the Bayou Classic at 8:30. But I'm open till the end. It's the people's show today. The people talk to me, right? I done coached us through this season. I done got us through it from beginning to end, all the way from being in Atlanta at the MEAC SWAC Challenge. We had Trey Oliver come on here. We had everybody you could think of throughout this season, right? And here we are. So, I ain't got nothing left for you for the season. We got the Bayou Classic. That's it. For the first time since 1949, Southern didn't win a home game this year. Question, what was y'all doing in 1949? Got a good question. What was you doing in 1949? What was you doing in 1949? You want to know what I was doing in 1949? Putting some peanuts in a Coca-Cola, drinking it. No, I'm playing. That wasn't me. I wasn't around. What was y'all doing in 1949, man? The program is way back. Stump Mitchell had a tough year, 2 wins. And this Marshall Faulk thing, Stump Mitchell came into Southern as an NFL running backs coach. Took over the program, and he fooled me. Y'all remember that MEAC SWAC Challenge, Mike? Against Delaware State over in Orlando? I thought we had something there. And then what we do, the next week we come back and we lose to the University of Arkansas Monticello, the Boll Weevils. I try to tell people about those Boll Weevils. UAM was a dangerous team that year. But it kind of puts me a line of where I hear people say we can get talent. Marshall Faulk can get talent. Stump Mitchell got talent. Stump Mitchell team had plenty of talent. Plenty. He didn't know what to do with it. Dawson Odoms came back and won a championship in 13 with the talent. Let's go to the phone lines this morning. Who we got on the phone lines? CJ, good morning.
Good morning, Perry. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. Good to hear from you. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Perry. But, like I said, I follow you real closely because you have a lot of good things to say. And some of the things that you do say come to fruition. But look, Perry, with our job, what I'm a little disappointed about, first of all, which is more important, coaching or talent? Which one you think really win the game? Do the coach win the game or do the talent win the game?
For me, it's coaching because you got to develop up that talent. You got to put the talent in the best position to go out there and execute, and you got to be able to make adjustments on the fly. It's like chess. When somebody make they move and they block a move, you have to be real thoughtful on what the next move so you can get around because you're not thinking right now. You're thinking down the line. And for me, talent just goes out there to do what you ask them to do. Coaching goes beyond within that moment where you're setting up the short play for the long play.
Well, if that's the case, then why in the hell are we talking to Michael Faulk? He has no background in coaching other than this 1 year he done put with Deion Sanders, and they getting their butt kicked, right now.
Yeah, I looked at that running back room. Of course, he's the running back coach. They are near the bottom.
Yeah.
I think they're second from the bottom in terms of that running back room in the Big 12 conference.
And then on top of that, Perry, you have to get a head coach who knows how to bring in assistant coaches who all should be head coaches one day, okay? We've been lacking in head and assistant coaches in knowing the process, knowing what the difference is between the pace of the game. This is a speed game. HBCUs and all that group that's affiliated with that, they can't win nothing against the other groups because the game is so slow. They don't have speed. They don't have things that be done different. Everybody's just about doing the same thing. It's just a different version of it. So I'm just saying, here we got I'm hoping we got $500,000 to deal with to get a head coach, because you ain't going to get no Michael Faulk with no $500,000. He getting $1 million over there with Sanders right now.
What you calling him, Michael Faulk?
Yeah.
And Marshall Faulk?
Marshall Faulk, yeah. So I'm just saying, are we going to have enough money left in the kitty to get coaches that we can bring in and give them $125,000, $150,000 for coordinators. And you can't get no other coaches that's going to be out there worth anything for less than $100,000. That you're going to need some help to teach these young men what it's going to be from the schools they're trying to leave or the high school. We just not going to have it, man. I enjoy hearing that little lady with the basketball, with the volleyball. She has a lot of energy. Look like she done brought a lot of things. Perry, we're not going to have 2 or 3 years to wait. Not with the fan base that we got. We got to know what we're dealing with down here. And don't seem like my AD understand what we are dealing with down right now. Now, of course, he's just a yes man. He's just taking orders from the same people who brought the other 2 coaches in here. Total flop. So I'm just asking you, what are we going to be looking for? What we should be looking for? Because if we don't have the money right, we ain't going to get the program right. And if we don't have the right head coach, you can just about kiss tomorrow goodbye, because it ain't going to be no championships. It ain't going to be no winning season. It is not going to be a whole lot of things, because you're not going to have the talent to produce for the bad coaching. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on things, since you're pretty, strong on a lot of things. And but no, Michael Falk ain't gonna make it.
Thank you, CJ.
All right.
CJ say Michael Falk ain't gonna make it. Marshall Falk, CJ, Marshall Falk. Let's get ready to take a break, and I'll give you my thoughts when we come back on the other side. You guys stay tuned more to Jaguar Journal.
From New Iberia, Louisiana, show him some love. goes. Is they dazzling you with sound grace. You do it.
All right, everybody, we're back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning. I am Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Good morning to everybody listening on the radio waves across the Baton Rouge capital city area on Talk 107.3 FM and everybody out there watching on our YouTube and Facebook. Be sure to keep up with the Jaguar Journal on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're on X. We're on Instagram, Facebook, as well as TikTok. We would love to continue to grow with you guys, growing with us as people slowly but surely continue to learn more about the Jaguar Journal. That's what I like about this thing. I'm seeing us getting somewhere with this. We're not just a radio show anymore. We're everywhere now. So you guys continue to keep up with us and help spread the word to let people know what we're doing here as we continue to give you guys a platform to voice your opinions, to talk about things, and at the same time, show your love for Southern University. And I got to give a shout out to the Southern University Human Jukebox. If you just watched on our live stream, you saw the halftime show from last week. But, of course, you know, I had John Grant, who is the executive director, not only of the MEAC SWAC Challenge, but as well as the Celebration Bowl. And they have incorporated a new part of it called the Red Lobster Band of the Year. You know who's made it to the Band of the Year? Our very own Southern University Human Jukebox Marching Band. Listen. They beat the football team from starting in the A, ending in the A. And guess what? Now we have the band who's going to start in the A and end in the A. Is they're going to go up against Florida A&M for the Band of the Year. The Red Lobster Band of the Year should be a great battle of the bands. Florida A&M won it last year. It's going to be great because both these two bands did not see each other this year. As you've always heard the conversations, when you talk about bands, especially on the HBCU level, no doubt about it, FAMU and Southern's name is always up near the top. And so to be able to have this competition with arguably what people consider the two top bands in the country, this should be a sight to see. And it should be the fan bases of both these schools, FAMU and Southern, who have a strong alumni presence over in Atlanta, should definitely come out. And plus just the interest of people who want to see it. Both bands totally have two different styles. You know, FAMU is love it or hate it. Southern is love it or hate it. And so it is definitely a contrast of two styles, but it should be a great one. And listen, Southern, we got to bring home a championship. Hey, this is our one shot to start in the A and the end of the A. We got to bring home a championship. Good morning to everybody out there. Listen, let's get ready to go to the phone lines. Who we got on the phone lines? Good morning.
Good morning, P. How you doing, man?
Good. Who we got?
It's Johnny.
Johnny, good morning, Johnny. I asked
All
Mike.
right.
Mike eyes got. I think he had forgot real quick. I put you on the spot, Mike. Johnny, good morning.
All right, man. That's all right. That's all right, P. Good to talk to you, man.
As always,
But,
man. What you got for me this morning, Johnny?
Just taking my turn at bat with this coaching search, man.
Come on, talk to me. Let the people hear what you have to say.
Well, you know, personally, you know, I've been watching Southern football since 1979. That was my first as a 9-year-old watching Southern, and I mean this past year was the worst I've ever seen, man. It's like a nightmare you can't wake up from, but that's neither here nor there. We'll be finished with this next weekend. But I'm just looking at it, you know, first of all, with whoever we get as a coach, it has to be a guy that come in willing to take the job. You know, I hear everybody say, oh, I don't want this person, I don't want that person. That's fine. We all have that opportunity to voice our opinion on that. But we also have to realize, you know, on the other end of this, where we're not privileged to, they could be talking to people that say, you know, I'm good. You know, we've all seen that before. So for all those that are saying, well, we're not talking to this person. We're not, yeah, they are. Well, from reliable sources, they are talking to people, but they have to want to have the job. One of the people that even was a part of that list, well, he didn't want the job. You know, I'm not going to name any names, but he didn't want the job. So it is what it is on that. You have to be willing to come here, subject yourself to what's going on at Southern, and take the job. Second thing, does he come with more than X and O's? You know, and right now, let's be honest up there, we can get somebody that come in here that knows how to scheme you up every Saturday night and even win some games. But there are things that's still behind the scenes that people don't talk about a lot. Facilities, I mean, other things that is needed for a program to run efficiently. Is he able to bring anything to the table when it comes to that? Because we can get the best coach in here, but if he can't recruit because of what's going on behind the scenes, then what do we have? You see, because he's only as good as the Jimmys and the Joes that he has out there. Yeah, he can put them in good place, but sooner or later he's gonna have to address that issue. So is he somebody that can come in and bring that? You think about a coaching staff. Coaches are only as good as the people they surround themselves with. I don't care who you are. We saw that with Coach Richardson. At the beginning, he had great coaches, but at the end, when the monies went to him and the coaches were eliminated off of his staff, and he tried to do it with less, we saw what happened. You see, so you could be a great coach, but if you can't bring in good guys and surround yourself with them, then you're still not going to be able to do anything. And when I hear people say, well, Marshall Faulk don't have any experience. That's fine. There was a lot of coaches that didn't have experience when they got jobs. But because they put themselves in position to have people around them that knew the game and knew what was needed, they succeeded, man. And, when I think about Faulk is only responsible for the running back. He's not responsible for the O-line. He's not responsible for calling plays on offense. He's not responsible for receivers or whatever. He's only responsible for those guys running the rock. And last time I checked, those running backs, then their carry, their yardage is up from last year. He can't do anything about a pitiful offensive line. And we know that Colorado has a garbage offensive line. So let's look at what he's responsible for, not the overall team. That's not his job. He's not playing defense. He's not doing any of that. And then I think the last thing I can look at when it comes to any of this, our fan base, let's be honest, our fan base is not going to go for OC, BC, just because he come from some big school. That's not going to fly right now. We have lost so many people over the past 3 to 4 years because of the product that we put on the field. So we're going to have to bring somebody that at least pique their attention, even though you may have people say, well, I don't want him because he don't have any experience. Yeah, but there's a lot of people that's going to come just because they're curious. They see the name. They see what he's coming with, because he's coming with more than just X's and O's. He's coming with resources. So if we only have him for a couple of years, that's fine. Just leave the program in better position than you found it, and we're good. We saw that with our clowns up I-55. Though he's not Deion, but Deion brought things to the table that they didn't have at first. He's capable of doing the same thing. And from what I'm hearing, that's what he's planning to do. So my thing is, I'm going to support whoever it is. Half of the people that's on here complaining, they don't even go to the game. Come on, man. It's easy to sit there and take shots, but at least go to the game, at least support the program. So, that's just my take on this. Wherever it is, I'm going to support him. If it's Faulk, fine. He's not my first choice, but hey, he ain't a bad choice either as far as I'm concerned.
Anybody out there in terms, if you were looking around in the coaching world that caught your attention that you say, hey, maybe that guy could be a good fit at Southern?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The one that you've talked about a lot, Joel Taylor, but he got to want to be here. And what I heard, he was interviewed, but I'm going to leave it at that. So I mean, we can have coaches that we like, but they got to want to be here. And here's the other thing: does the family want to be here?
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of stuff that's not brought up. Just because you want that guy, he may even want the job, but if his family ain't willing to move to Baton Rouge, Scotlandville, they're not doing it.
Well, listen. Hold on, let's not scare them. Now they ain't got to live in Scotlandville. You just go to work.
No, they don't. They don't. I grew up in Scotlandville and proud of it, and proud of my parents are still there. I'm right here in Baker, so I don't shun where I come from at all. But I'm just saying, just realistically, that's a culture shock for people that's on the East Coast.
Yeah. And for me personally, I have heard that when it comes to Joel Taylor, that, it wasn't necessarily him. It came from outside sources. And we typically know what those outside sources are when you're a married man, and going somewhere different and out of your environment that you have come to love at the place that you've at. So you're definitely right. There are outside things, but you got to sell it, man. At the end of the day, regardless of the fact, you got to, if it's somebody you want, you got to sell it until you can't sell it no more. And I mean, from every possible direction and angle that you can, on top of you slide that offer number across the table too. Listen, it has made plenty of coaches up and leave where they at. And for me, I'm with you. Look, whoever comes in is going to have a hell of a job ahead of them. And it's going to have to be a plan in place. It has to be a plan in place, and whether it's a 3-year, 4-year plan, whatever. What does year one look like? Because you're already coming in behind the 8 ball, not being able to recruit and so many other things. So you're going to have to come in, and in the spring, we understand, make it work with what you have in the spring. All right, then year one, what does that look like towards recruiting for year two? Who's already on your board? Now, when we get to year two, what does that next step look like? Because I think for all of us, we're going to have to be patient in year one. But as we've seen, even with Prairie View, when they had their rock bottom year with Bubba McDowell, Tremaine Jackson, who was a proven coach, comes in from Division II Valdosta State, led them to a Division II national championship. He comes in and look at Prairie View right now. He worked with what he had with a plan, and he has them in a position to right now. They're the SWAC West champs, and they're going to be playing in the SWAC championship year one. So at that same time, there are no excuses to the wait and see too. There are opportunities out there. It's just, what is your plan to get it together? And we saw the same thing happen with Terrence Graves in year one. We had just fired Eric Dooley. Year one, Terrence Graves go to the championship. The problem was, what was the process for year two? Then the process into year three, that's where we got lost in. See, we got lost into a team when it should have been a program. And that's what we need right now, a program builder to have something that's sustainable, that we can grow from. And every year there's a plan to execute something. We ain't just living and just doing just to say, okay, well, next year the plan for next year already should be in place for this year.
Yes.
You know, and that's the steps of how you build the house. You start with the foundation. First of all, is the soil good? Is this a good place to even build a house? Okay, once we do the soil samples and we do everything else, what's next? It's the foundation. What's next after the foundation? It's the frame. Now we get all the inner workings. Now we can build a house. Now, if you want to add on to it, guess what? You don't add on to it tomorrow. You already got your plans thought of what you want to do with it in the future. That's the only way that I look at this situation. Are we just looking to have some teams or a team, or are we looking to be a sustainable program and have this where it is continuous, where regardless if the coach has success here and wants to move on, that's fine. The program is, the structure is in place. Next man come take it over. You ain't got to do much, but just take the keys. The car already had the oil change, new tires, got an alignment. Everything's good. You just drive it and take care of it. That's what we need to be in a position of.
And I think from that aspect, especially with Falk, I think it's more, if he ends up with a job, I think it's more of a business decision. And I think it's because of what you just mentioned. I think it's based on his ability to come in here and do some things that others have not been able to do. And let's be honest, man, the average coach, if he don't have sponsorship, if he don't have other connections, he's just going to be another coach that's in here, and he don't have the things that he needs to be successful. So I think, if we look at it from the business side of it, I would think that that's the reason if he ends up getting that job. I think it would be that.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, other than Joel Taylor, I was looking at Coach Parker over at Virginia Union as well. He's been able to win a couple of championships, D2 level. But again, it goes back under. Is he a good fit? Does he come with the right credentials? Well, from what I've heard, he was interviewed, but that was about it. I mean, he didn't sell himself on being that coach that takes us to where we need to go. So, like I say, we can interview guys all day, every day, but they got to be the right fit, man.
And I look at this, okay? There are plenty of coaches in football, from the NAIA to Division III to Division II to FCS to FBS. There are a ton of football coaches, and a lot of them are having success at places that, guess what? They don't have the necessary things to be successful. When has Southern ever had everything on the table to be 100% successful in terms of football? We have been blessed to have coaches like a A.W. Mumford. We have been blessed to have a coach like a Pete Richardson. We were blessed to have a coach even in Dawson Odoms that many don't truly appreciate and respect for in that moment that Southern was dealing with APR. And that almost just complete. That was almost like a death penalty to the program. But we were blessed to have coaches that came in and didn't have much. It found a way to work. So my thing is we're never going to have truly everything we need because we're not LSU. We don't have a huge donorship and sponsors, and our fan base is not pumping millions of dollars into the program. We don't have big-time boosters out there pumping millions of dollars into the program. But at the end of the day, find a guy that can make it work. Because if our excuse is going to always be, well, we don't have the necessary things to bet, then why are we playing football? Why are we just shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars every year just to give, to continuously say what we don't have? We got something. And that's what we got to find, somebody who can make it work with what we have, and we continue to help improve what we have to help them be successful. We may not have it all right now, but that's when it goes back to a plan, because if our number one thing is going to constantly be what we, and I hear this from other schools, especially in the SWAC, when I have these conversations, well, our coach, we don't have it, then why are you playing football? Why are you wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars a year if that's going to be your excuse on why you're not good? Find somebody who knows what to do with something. Show me somebody that can make it work with 50 cents instead of somebody that need $100. And there's somebody out there that's being successful with 50 cents wherever they at saying, hey, man, I know what to do. I don't look for excuses. I don't focus on the problems. I'm a solutions guy. We're going to make it work and do what we have, and we're going to make the best out of it. And that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I agree, man. And like I say, in closing, I do believe that whoever they get, and it's based on the names that I'm hearing is there, I think we're still going to come out smelling like roses regardless of who it is, even if it's not false. I think the next couple names is legitimate as well. So, hey, let's see what happens, man. I mean, we're sleeping giant, Perry. You know that.
Yes, sir.
We're sleeping giant, and the people that's taking the shots and laughing this year, hope they enjoy themselves, because when we get off the mat, it's going to be on.
We're gonna lay the smack down on them when we come back. It's the Rock.
Yes, indeed. Good talking to you, man.
Thank you, man.
All right.
And I'm looking at this, if we got the money and we doing what we doing, man, go out and take somebody, coach. Come on, man, we Southern. There's some swag that come with this. There's a lot of notoriety that come with this. Now, some people may be scared. If you scared, don't come to Southern. It's tough on the bluff. Our fan base is a passionate one that loves its football. We love other sports, but we love our football. That's why we have one of the largest stadiums in all of FCS football. That's why we consistently in the top 5 of FCS football attendance. I don't care how good the other FCS programs are in the state of Louisiana. They not topping us. That's why when Southern is literally broken everybody's stadium attendance record in the state of Louisiana. Ask UL. Ask Louisiana Tech, ask ULM, ask McNeese, ask Northwestern. I can keep going. Don't that let you know how powerful we are? Being on television, we're going to be on NBC next week. Outside of Notre Dame, who else do you see on NBC a lot in college football? It ain't just us, though. It's Grambling as well, but I'm just trying to put that out there. This is a place. And maybe I see it more than what others, and maybe I need to be in the room to sell it, because guess what? I'm going to sell Southern to you because I see all the possibilities. We hadn't even begun to scratch the surface of what we can be, because we settle for what we used to be. I'm not worried about what we used to be. I'm looking at what we can be in the future. What we used to be, that's the thing of the past. Everybody, at some point, you was the man in high school. All right, you're going to keep living on to that when you're 40 years old, talking about what you was in high school. Man, let that go. Well, who are you now as the man at 40? Who are you now as the father, as the professional? Who are we as Southern now in 2025? The 90s was great, everybody. Trust me. I fell in love with Southern in the 90s. But this 2025, the 90s was 25 years ago. We got to figure out what's going to be our next era in Southern and stop trying to recreate an era. Move on and make a new era. So we could then have that new fan like I was in the 90s of Southern, where we can get that new fan from 2026 moving on. And for 10 years, 5 years, or how many ever years, all they known was the infatuation and love for Southern. And then they'll go back and look at that period in time and say, I remember that time. Instead of still trying to recreate the 90s. Let's get ready to take a break. We'll be back. More of the Jaguar Journal. It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White. And what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500-plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket, and his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver, Hayes, makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing. Nice catch made.
Receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
The backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet. And Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5 yards. Levy on 3rd down. Looking down the sideline. Yes, sir. Big time player.
Guys stepping up like they're going to blitz.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White. Good morning. Everybody listening on Talk 107.3 FM across the Baton Rouge, capital city area. It's a very vast land. If you've ever been to Baton Rouge, it encompasses a lot of square miles. So good morning to everybody in every inch of those square miles and everybody out there across the world listening and watching on our YouTube and Facebook. Glad to have you guys with us. Be sure to subscribe to the Jaguar Journal YouTube channel. Continue to grow with us. Continue to learn who we are. There have been people for years that only listen to us for radio, and and there are a lot of people who are just now finding out about the Jaguar Journal, and I'm glad that you guys are and grow with us. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, follow us across all social media. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we're on Facebook. Glad to have you guys with us and love to continue to grow with you, okay? So grow with us as we keep on moving forward. So this morning we're talking whatever y'all want to talk about, but I think the obvious thing is the next head coach at Southern University, who we're going to probably get word, is they like they do in the Catholic Church. The smoke is going to come from the Vatican here soon. Okay, we're going to know what is going to be here very, very soon. For many, they believe they already know what it is. For many, they believe Marshall Faulk is going to be the guy, and I've heard it and I think why it sounds like it's so solidified because of what I've heard. This is what I've heard. It seems to be a Tony Clayton guy. And I think at this point, with the amount of money that Tony Clayton has pumped into this program, it seems to be his choice. Would it be the only choice? I would not say that, but I think it would definitely have a hard argument to say, hey, let me roll with this one this time. Who we got? All right, William, what's going on? Good morning.
Good morning, Perry. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
What you got for me this morning?
I just want to, first of all, I want to say congratulations to the Human Jukebox. I hope we can go over there and win that competition. You hear me?
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Hey, I'm going to be there.
Okay, all right. And next thing, I'm in agreement with the gentleman that was just on before me that talked about the coaching search and stuff, really. I kind of like Marshall Faulk some, but I wouldn't mind having a head coach with some head coaching experience, such as somebody like Trey Oliver or Kenneth Berry.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know whether they're in the mix or not. The only name that I've heard has been Marshall Faulk, and I heard that the guy Joel Taylor was interviewed. I don't know if he's one of the finalists or not, because from what I've heard, I think they got maybe 4 finalists that they're choosing from. But I think from the business perspective of things, I think Marshall Faulk would bring something to the table. I know he doesn't have head coaching experience, but I think that from the business point of view, I think he's probably gotten some pointers from Deion Sanders, and from I remember him being on the NFL Network. There were always other media personnel that said that he was a good personnel guy, and so I think he has a lot to offer, bringing to the table as far as being media savvy as well, really. And sometimes I think we need something like that, someone that's media savvy and that has some relationships that can maybe bring in some sponsorship like the gentleman before me said, really. So what do you think?
You know, how do I want to say this, William? Look, I'm not against Marshall Faulk, though. I'm really not. I'm not at all. I'm actually kind of intrigued by the idea. I'm not going to lie. I just think where we are right now, our football program is back 100. Can I ask you, William, what was you doing in 1949?
I wasn't even born in 1949.
Our football program is set back so far. So I'll say this. If we was going to do Marshall Faulk, I felt like this should have been 4 years ago, where when we moved on from Dawson Odoms and we decided not to do the Jason Rollins thing, I think because of what Deion was in this space at the time at Jackson State, to me, it made sense then where if we was going to live and learn, we could have experimented with it at that point. I would have been cool with this, William, 100% 4 years ago, I promise you. And that's why I'm still kind of intrigued, but it's kind of like, you ever heard like, maybe is it too little too late for this one? Because now in that 4-year span, we've gone through 2 coaches who we had to fire within the second year of their contract. And we've sat back and watched these coaches have a good year, then have a horrible year. But it was how that horrible year went. It just, when it looked bad, it looked bad. And in year 2 again with Dooley, it just looked bad, especially from the quarterback position and the offensive side where he was supposed to be the expert, right? He was the expert of offense. That's why he was the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Then you bring Terrence Graves in, and it's like, for this time we had to sit back and let a coach learn how to be a head coach. And it was good in year 1, but then we realized it went more than that. He didn't understand the program building side of it, where we at now. And it's like, I don't know if I have the patience for Marshall Faulk right now. I'm not saying he can't coach. I'm not saying he can coach. I just don't know if I would have had more patience 4 years ago, William. But right now, just considering where we at, I don't have the patience, and which is why I think football coach, which hundreds of them out there, I'm looking for that. And who's made an immediate impact of where they've been. Not just saying, hey, we were one of the best in our conference. No. What did you do on the national scale in terms of your offense, defense? What did you do in terms of personnel? What did you do in terms of your scheme, in terms of recruiting? How did you make it work over there? Where are you at? That's where I'm at now. I just think for me, it's a little too late for the Marshall Faulk experiment. That should have been 4 years ago. Right now, I don't have time, and I think many don't have time for the experiment. We just experimented 2 years in a row, over the past 4 years. It's just time to get down to the business of it, and it's just football at this point, William.
Well, Perry, I think just from seeing what Deion Sanders did up at Jackson State, and a lot of people don't want to give Deion credit for what he built there at Jackson State, in saying that how he enhanced the program with practice fields and did things to the administrative facility and stuff, really. Just seeing those things that were done by him, I think there's a good template for Marshall Faulk to go by, really. And going back talking about Eric Dooley and Terrence Grave, I don't think the media savviness was there and the marketing skills is there, that I think that you need sometimes. You need a good, don't get me wrong, you need a good X's and O's coach. You need a good coach that can recruit, but you also need someone that can market the program, really.
Winning markets it all, because let's look, Pete Richardson wasn't the greatest media savvy guy. He wasn't.
Yeah, I agree with you, somewhat there. The program under Pete could have been a lot more successful if he had some marketing skills, though. Really, that's all. That's all that I'm saying.
Okay.
Really, and I've been a season ticket holder for 25 years.
Yes, sir.
Football season ticket holder. So I'm just bringing out, what I think what could enhance the program some is a football coach that can converse with the media, can converse with the fan. For example, like when you had Trey Oliver on, you can tell he has a personality, and like you said, he's a program builder. So that's the kind of coach that I would like to see. But you also, I know that you also have to have the money, and that person would have to want to come to Southern as well, really. But I think there's some good candidates that they have this time. I just don't know who all the candidates are, but it sounds like they did the process like they said they were going to do it, was they were going to hire a search firm to come in and help them vet some candidates and stuff, really. So, like I said, I don't know. I've heard some people say they got good candidates. I just don't know who they are, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that I'm just hoping for the best in this situation, really.
Me too, William, man. I appreciate the call this morning, William.
Okay, thank you, Perry.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get ready to take a break, everybody. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Bayou Classic coming up between Southern and Grambling. All right, you guys stay tuned. More to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
And they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
He really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss. And a nice catch. Ricks on the 1st and 10. Little draw play. Takes it outside. He's got the 1st down.
But Ricks going to take it up the middle.
All right, everybody, we're back. More of the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there. I am Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Good morning to everybody out there listening on the Talk 107.3 radio waves across the Baton Rouge capital city area. Glad to have you guys with us and everybody watching on our Facebook and YouTube live this morning. Good morning to you guys as well, and everybody. Be sure to keep up with the Jaguar Journal. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're on X, Instagram, TikTok, as well as Facebook. So glad to have you guys with us this morning. Continue to grow with us. And as we're talking about growing, it's that time of year. It's the Bayou Classic, and it's time to talk about the events and everything that's going on along with this year's big old game and atmosphere. And it's my favorite time of the year. I love this time of the year when it's Thanksgiving and we're talking about the Classic. Nobody better to talk about the Classic with than my girl, Candace Brock. Good morning, Candace.
Good morning, Perry. How are you?
It's been a while. How you doing?
I'm telling you, I feel like you've been dodging me. It's been 365 days.
Here we go. We're back. Glad to have you back on. Let's talk about the Classic, right? Beyond the football teams that we know the game is going to be on Saturday, this thing is an event. And when you talk about an event, people from all across the world are going to be headed down to New Orleans on next weekend to have a good time and talk about what events and everything surrounding those good times throughout a week of events.
Absolutely. Well, you know, the Bayou Classic brings more than 200,000 visitors annually. So we're expecting no different this year. And I mean, we got a full lineup for you, Perry. I'm talking, we're stacking it. So it kicks off, of course, Thursday. We've got the annual Bayou Classic Thanksgiving Day Parade. That starts at 3 p.m. on Thursday, November 27th. Now, how we do this is we start at the Caesars Superdome, and then it's going to be round trip going through downtown New Orleans, coming back to the Superdome. We've got signature floats, throws, and more than 40 total units. Plus, we've got some of those top New Orleans area high school bands, so you definitely don't want to miss that. I know people spend time with their families on Thanksgiving, so after you've gotten full on your turkey and you've hung with your family, come on out to the Thanksgiving Day Parade. So that's what we have on Thursday. Are you ready for the Friday lineup?
Let me have it.
All right. Well, we're kicking things off early with our Bayou Classic Business Bowl. And so this is our inaugural Bayou Business Bowl. It's going to be at the Hyatt Regency New Orleans. That is on Friday from 9 to 10:30. And this is where we're introducing the next generation of business leaders. So it's a high-energy student pitch competition featuring 2 student teams, each from Southern University and Grambling State University from their College of Business. And so what's so exciting about this is that the students are actually competing for $10,000 in prizes and awards and an opportunity to get recognized for their innovation, as well as their ability to present market-ready ideas. So we're very excited about bringing this back this year. Definitely something to get out to and support both of these College of Businesses. And that's presented in partnership with the Louisiana Chamber of Commerce. So after that, we also have our Business at Bayou, which is a Black Small Business Showcase, and that's going to be at the Hyatt Regency New Orleans as well, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Get out, network. They're going to be showcasing nonprofit, corporate, and local businesses. So students, alumni, and visitors, you're all encouraged and invited to stop by, purchase some items, and see what these small Black businesses have going on. Now, on Friday at about noon, we've got our Bayou Classic Coaches Luncheon, and that's just where we celebrate the coaches and teams from both universities at the Bayou Classic Coaches Luncheon. That's invitation only, but definitely something that we like to represent for both campuses. Then on Friday, we also have the Bayou Classic Motivational Game Day Ball Run. That's huge. It departs from Baton Rouge at 5:30 a.m., and they usually arrive in New Orleans about 1:30. And so Southern University, Army ROTC, and their Southern Navy, along with Grambling State University ROTC programs, they're going to carry the official Bayou Classic Game Day Ball through 7 parishes and more than a dozen towns to get that ball to the Superdome. So that's always something else that's exciting to see. And then on Friday, we have a brand new event. It is called Beats Before Battle. So I know you know about the Greek show and the Battle of the Bands, but now we're kicking things off early with a special pre-show presented by Sprite. That is going to be Friday, November 28th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. right out front of Caesars Superdome, Gate C, Plaza level. Absolutely free, open to the public. We do have the clear bag policy for this, though. So ladies, make sure you pack appropriately. But you want to come out for this because the plaza is going to be transformed into the ultimate party zone. They've got dancing, giveaways, Sprite samples, specialty gear, and it's also going to feature a drumline battle between Sarah T. Reed High School Band and the Young Audiences Charter School. So we're definitely excited about this brand new event. And we'll also be giving away tickets to Battle of the Band and Greek Show at Beats Before Battle. So if you didn't get a chance to get your ticket, you can come on out there and you might get lucky and win. So we certainly want to see you out there. And then Friday night, the big event that people always come to see, Battle of the Bands and the Greek Show, is going to feature our 4th annual Bayou Classic Invitational High School Battle of the Bands. And we're also going to have the Greek Show and regular Battle of the Bands between both Grambling State University and the Southern Marching Band. I mean, gosh, it's such a huge thing, and we're super excited about that. Clear bag policy for entrance as well. You do need a ticket, so get your tickets if you haven't gotten them already. Doors open up at 5, and show kicks off at 6. Woo! You ready for Saturday?
I'm ready to turn up.
All right, now. It's going down on Saturday, Perry. So Saturday, we get things kicked off 9 a.m. to noon with our Bayou Classic Fan Fest. It always is a huge event. It goes down in Champion Square outside the Caesars Superdome. Absolutely free, open to the public, clear bag policy for entrance for that as well. And let me tell you, this lineup we got for you this year, big, big, big. Are you ready for it?
Please
I feel
let
like
me know.
I didn't even tell you.
Let me know.
All right. I'm going to tell you. So we're headlining with 2 Chainz, okay?
2
Chainz will be out there. You heard me. Not 1 chain, but 2. So we got 2 Chainz out there. We got Headband, Peasy, DJ So Cold, Giovanni Wart, DJ Juice. Plus, it's going to be hosted by Wild Wayne, including DJ Keith Scott and DJ Papa. So, hey, if you're trying to get out there and have a good time, see some great live performances for free before you even go to the game, you definitely want to be out here at FanFest. So I know I'm going to see you out there, right, Perry?
You know it.
I already knew. I know you're going to have your 2 Chainz on. So now let me tell you about the game. All right. For the game, you know, we got the 52nd annual Bayou Classic. It's presented by Procter & Gamble. Kickoff time is 1 p.m. Doors do open at 11:30. Clear bag policy for entrance as well. You got to have your ticket to enter, and that's going to be going down at the Caesars Superdome. We are super excited. We know it's going to be a big event. We've got these 2 teams that are playing, and we're super excited to see who's really going to take home the trophy this year. And we can't forget about the Bayou Classic halftime show presented by Coca-Cola. Always a big deal. You've got Grambling State University World Fame Marching Band. You got Southern University's Human Jukebox and Dancing Dolls, always presenting with amazing field performances and shows when it comes to that halftime show. And you and I both know you never know what special guests you might get for halftime. So
right, we had
that's
Boosie
all I'm
last
say
year.
About that. I tried to tell you.
Hey, we had Boosie last year. It wasn't the year before Fantasia.
Yes, so there's no telling who you might see this year, you definitely want to be there. I always tell people, I know a lot of times at halftime, that's when you try to take your restroom break. You want to go refill your popcorn and your drink. But when it comes to the Bayou Classic, that is not the time.
No. Let me ask you this, Candace, for everybody out there who want to keep up with the Bayou Classic and, you know, if they want to get a list of events, see the flyers, whatever else, how can they keep up with you guys?
Well, we do have a website. All you got to do is go to mybayouclassic.com. That's also where you can purchase your tickets, see all of the event lineup. We have an app as well. Just search for Bayou Classic. And, of course, you can check us out on Instagram at Bayou Classic 74. That is our Instagram handle. So all of those areas can keep you in the loop, but definitely head to that website right now. Get your tickets. Check out the full lineup of events so that way we can see you in the building because you don't want to miss this.
That's Candace Brock, everybody. She's letting you know where you better be next week down in New Orleans. So you can't say, I didn't know about this and that. Hey, you just heard it right here, and she gave you how to keep up with it for the Bayou Classic coming up the 52nd, 52 years of the Bayou Classic. We'll be celebrating this year in 2025. Thank you, Candace.
Thank you, Perry.
All right, everybody. That was the voice of Candace Brock. Let's get ready to take a break. We'll come back on this side. We'll get ready to close things out here on the Jaguar Journal.
Area Skelton has really had this wave of momentum for Southern.
Yeah, first-year player in this program. I love his decision-making. He makes quick decisions, particularly when running the run-pass option game. That's his specialty. He's been an impact for this offense since he took over as starting quarterback.
Jaguars on a 5-game winning streak.
Ladarius Skelton, and the thing about this guy, he's very familiar with this area. He's a good quarterback, but this is our homecoming for him. He played his high school ball at Pine Bluff High School, and he won an awful lot of games there.
Yeah, no question about it. Speaking of winning, from 7th grade till his senior year, the man only lost 7 games. That's impressive. He took Pine Bluff High School to 3 consecutive 6A state title games, winning the last 2 his junior and senior year. And then, if that wasn't enough, he took the basketball team to a state championship as well in his senior year. This guy is everything about winning.
And Ladarius Skelton has to make sure he blocks it out in a hurry. Don't get caught up in the elements. Stick to your keys and your game plan.
The sophomore was chosen to be the signal caller after that Alcorn State loss. And since then, he has been rolling, and Skelton is rolling with his feet. His name starts with the letter J. And Skelton on the RPO. Skelton bouncing to the outside, and he finds the end zone. So Skelton looking down that right sideline. What a pass, and into Trey Smith. Play action. Skelton going for it all. Has a man and hauling it in. And a chance for them to answer. Skelton calls his own number and boulders his way in. Skelton feeling the pressure. Skelton eludes a couple of tacklers. He's still on his feet. Oh my! Little shake and bake. Juke move, baby. Finding his way into the end zone. Touchdown. 2 to go on the play clock. Gets it off. And Skelton going for it. He's got Hunter registered in the end zone. Now on 2nd and goal, and Skelton banged around and into the end zone.
Season on the line. Run.
And Skelton calls his own number, and he's in.
Goal. Skelton looking back. Fires. Touchdown, Jaguar. Goal. Skelton is going to go to the corner. Ooh, touchdown.
That was a man in motion now from left to right. He fakes the handoff. Skelton in trouble, throws, and it is caught in the end zone for the touchdown. Here comes the pressure. Skelton steps up, and he's going to pick up the first down. He's going to pick up a touchdown. 10 from the JSU 23. Skelton will keep it. Skelton inside the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5, and he scores. In shotgun formation, gives it
We're on the back end of the show today. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Hey, you know, considering 2 guests today, we just been freestyling this thing today. You know, I ain't have much for y'all today anyway. It was going to be a chill day. Y'all sick of hearing me talk about this football team and talk about some basketball. You know, I say basketball when it get there. I just can't ignore what's the big story right now. It's football. especially heading into the Bayou Classic. It's football. And thank you, Candace Brock, for coming on talking to us about the Bayou Classic. I know Southern may not be going into the Classic with a great record, but we all know the Bayou Classic is still a hell of an event. It's my favorite event. The Bayou Classic is even the reason I fell in love with Southern in the first place. It wasn't me showing up to a Southern home game. Bless you, Mike. It was the Bayou Classic. As a kid, I was too young to go to it. When I finally got of age, they brought me. Me and my cousins went, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I left there talking about Southern nonstop to this day. Still talking about Southern University all these years later, and it started with the Bayou Classic and just what that experience was like for me. It's my I look forward to it every year. There's no other event I look forward to than most the Bayou Classic. That is my event. That is the reason I fell in love with Southern. That's the reason I went to Southern. That's the reason I'm here on this radio talking to you about Southern. It was the Bayou Classic, and everything. And it was what it meant. When I went to look, we talking in the heyday, the 99s, the 2000s, when that thing was rocking. All right? I'm talking about football teams, bands, the fans were actually fans. I don't know what kind of fans y'all are today. Y'all just y'all the TikTok, Instagram fans. You just want to look good for the picture. You will make people think you having a good time until after that picture is snapped. Then you go back to just looking at your phone, looking at how many people then looked at your story instead of having a good time. Come on, man. Know what kind of fans y'all are today, but them were some good fans back in those times, right? We got good fans today. We just ain't had much to cheer for. So I'll equate that to that. I won't jump on you too much. We just didn't have much to cheer for this year. And we went through this year. It's been tough. I can tell you. I've been right here every step of the way with you guys. And, it's been some ups, but it's been some many downs. Southern hadn't won a game since August against Mississippi Valley State. And, one thing I do know, Southern ain't losing today. Football ain't losing today, so we can take that however we want. I can accept that. But it's been memorable. I'll look back on this and say I was there. I was there to see the year Southern had one of the worst records in program history. Now, what I can tell you, it's easy to be in this position. Long term, too. People think because you at the bottom ain't no other place to go but from up. That ain't the case. You could be at the bottom for a long time. It's hard to pull yourself out the bottom. And anybody who's ever been rock bottom, you understand. Just because you rock bottom, the only place is to go up, but don't mean up gonna happen just like that. Rock bottom is a tough place to be. I've been rock bottom before. I know what it's like. I know what I had to be to pull tie them bootstraps tight and get to work, and that's how I'm able to be where I'm at today. I came to Baton Rouge rock bottom when I came to Southern. Didn't have nothing. Didn't know nobody. Didn't have a car. I rode the bus everywhere. I moved around so good you thought I had a car. Didn't have no money for school. I was just showing up in people's offices saying, hey, can you help me? You know where I can find some money? No, we don't. Okay. Go to school for one semester. Next semester can't go to school because I got to go to work to pay for tuition, to pay for rent, to take care of myself. I know what it's like to be rock bottom. I'm going to tell you, unless you got the work ethic to get out of it, which I got a tremendous work ethic. I don't just have a big mouth. I got a hell of a work ethic behind me. And I don't ask for nothing. I work for it. So I use that as, I know what it's like to be rock bottom. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. What I was born was to teach me how to analyze, how to constructively criticize, and how to take constructive criticism. How to work for everything that you want. Don't be sitting around looking for a handout, and make it happen. Which is why I come on here and I speak the way that I do, because I just have a fire that burns within me that's going to always burn to go out and do what's necessary in order to be successful, and not say what I don't have, but just work with what I do have. And I'm equating that to the same way of looking where we at now with this football program. I don't want to hear all the things of what we don't have. Let's find somebody who can look at what we do have and say, I can make something work with that. If you guys over time continue to build and work with me, we can build and work and make this work together. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to go on no spiel today. It's simple as that. We rock bottom. I've been rock bottom. But success comes to those who really want it, and you got to really want it. So what do we really want? That's all I'm asking. That's the question that I think. Take with yourself. Next week, the smoke will be coming from out of the out of the field house. I told you, like the Vatican, when they choose the Pope, the smoke will be coming out. That blue and gold smoke will be, you will see it high. No, it ain't Exxon. That blue and gold smoke, that's coming from Jaguar land. That's telling you a decision has been made. And for many, they believe the decision is already made with Marshall Faulk. We'll wait and see how it go. From myself, Perry White, my man Mike, CJ Guidry, and everybody associated with the Jaguar Journal, I want to thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Get ready for the Bayou Classic. I want to thank Candace Brock, and good luck to the Southern University women's volleyball team today. Coach Don Barnes, they'll be taking on Alabama State, surviving in advance. They upset Jackson State yesterday, the number 2 seed. They're going to be taking on Alabama State today. Candace Brock coming on, talking to us about the Bayou Classic and all of the events. And thank you guys. Be sure to keep up with the Jaguar Journal on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on X, on Instagram, Facebook, as well as TikTok, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I hope you guys have a great and safe week. Enjoy yourself. And I'll see you guys next week as we get ready to party down in New Orleans for the Bayou Classic. You guys have a great week, okay? And happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, and be safe as you travel for the holidays as well as down to New Orleans. What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.